Okay, so we're here and I'm cooking what I'm calling Health 100 curry, and it's all a bit odd because I'm in my home kitchen and I kind of need the camera to be everywhere like it was in the studio, but we're going to do it. And in this pan here I've got some tofu, so it's tofu's like that, it's cut up like that, and I put some salt on it and it's gone into some hot oil here. And I'm just getting that ready because that's going to go into the curry. Now I've got here a laptop, and if you want to put comments I will be able to see those comments. It's all a bit strange because I can see myself. So we'll get ready, we'll get used to that I'm sure, or I will. So I'm kicking off here now. In this pan I've got quite a lot of oil. It's coconut oil actually, it's deodorised coconut oil. And the first thing we're going to do is to pan fry 200 grams of cauliflower and sprouts. Now I'm using sprouts because I love sprouts, but you could just use something else if you wanted to. But you know, I like the sprout because it's got a little bit of bite to it and substance to it. That's a bit big. So now then, this is frozen cauliflower. I personally think frozen cauliflower does really well in curry. Perhaps it's not as great as fresh cauliflower, but it's really good. And we're doing what we're doing here on a medium heat is to put a bit of char on this vegetable actually, and whilst also maintaining the integrity of the vegetable. So you want it crunchy, but you want a bit of outside coloration. So that's what we're doing actually. That's doing that, and then this is going to go into this container that I took away. So this is what we're going to do. So these vegetables are getting prepared, this tofu is getting prepared, and then we're going to make the sauce, and then when that sauce is finished and ready and thickened, these items are going back in. So we're just going to turn the tofu. I'm going to put that heat up a bit on those veggies actually. Right, so let me just see what I can show you. So bear with me on these cooker demonstrations. First one, but I'd like to have 3 cameras going into the software to see this. So can you see this? Let's just see what we can see. I think that might be alright actually. So yeah, you can see the top's cooked and it's cooking down, so that's the time to turn it over, and we want that sort of cooked, that's quite hard now, underneath, over top, all tight. So just going to turn it over. I'm turning it with tongs. Why? Because I don't want to burn myself. That's a nice colour. Quite brown. You want it tanned, basically. So keep moving these around. I haven't got my fan on because I was worried about the noise. So yeah, I love cooking, and I think I really love cooking live. I really enjoyed doing course videos, and yeah, I've always liked watching cooking. Of course I have. I wouldn't be in this line of work, would I, if I hadn't enjoyed some cooking shows in my time. So that's now cooking down. Now let's have a look at this if we can. Right, what we're trying to get is this. So we're trying to get some char. Trying to get some char on the vegetables. So we've got some brown coming on now. So these are nearly done. I can smell them, which is good. So we're 5 minutes into this. Just got to time actually. Let's just pick something. So I've got myself all set up here. I'm going on a journey. I'm going through these ingredients like this. And actually this is what I made earlier. Oh my god, I did actually just say that. This is what I made earlier. That was blue peach, I think, when I was a child, 100 years ago. So yes, here's the curry I made earlier. I wanted to take a photograph, and I wanted to double check the recipe because I made it up yesterday. Here's the second version. This is the 3rd time I've made this. So fine, so I quite like it like that. So anyway, that will just get tipped out into a Tupperware afterwards. But I just thought I'd show you what I made earlier. Good. So can you see this now? This has got nice char in it, nice colour. So we're just going to get that out. I swore to myself I'd be quite good, and I would be not tearing around, because as you can maybe imagine doing something like this, you know, it's quite tempting to hurry up. Slow it down, said cameraman Chris, just running through the course. Slow down. Okay, so good, that's nice. And now we're going to do what I think a lot of people might not do when they're cooking curry. I think we're all right on that tofu actually. I'm just heating a bit more oil. I love cooking. I love feeding people as well. So the lovely lady who's living with me at the moment, she's just had some of this batch. It's just really nice heating it up for her. Beautiful person, beautiful vegan person. Okay, so this is a bit hot, isn't it? Can you see the smoke coming off it? So we don't like it to be that hot, considering what we're about to do, which is to put spices in. Okay, so quite often I think that people don't do what I'm about to do, and they miss this step. So when you're making curry, spicing is everything. And adding spicing doesn't automatically mean it's good curry. You've got to cook the spices, mix the spices, toast the spices, just getting a bit of sprout out of that actually. In fact, I'm going to just go with a new pan. Bear with. Right, let's get this. This is rapeseed oil. So we're going to cook the spices, and I used to make quite a lot of curries. People used to like the curries, and actually I just lose all the spices at the end of the day. It's all because of the spices. And we're going to cook them. So we're just using this. Ready, set, cook. Aldi. 4 teaspoons. And this. So we're just going to wait for this to heat up actually. That's done, so that's ready. This is now done, so that can just go off. That's off, and this needs to go out. Right, good. Okay, so let's just wait till this comes up. Is it on? Yeah. So we're going to cook these spices and we're going to activate them, and you'll know when the spices are good to go. You know, you can move on to the next stage when they smell great. What you need to have though when you do this is to have a little bit of water, because they can dry out, and you don't want to dry it out. And don't worry about adding water, because it will evaporate off during the cooking. So we're going to put 4 teaspoons of regular curry powder in, and a teaspoon of cumin. Now, this is the recipe, and this is here, to show you that this is what generally happens. You know, put a recipe here, do like a photocopy of it and stick it to your wall. It's here. You can see it, but you don't have to have it in your way. A recipe down on the ground here, no, we don't do. So, and also always my recipes have got quite a lot of ingredients in, so you know, you need to know what they are. Right, so we're having 4 of these bad boys in here. That's that. And I'm going to start putting my ingredients away. What I mean by away is they're going away. So that things are coming forward, going in, and then away. And then I know visually what I've done. So we've got, those are now away. And what we've got here are some lumps. Some lumps in the pan. So this is my yellow spoon. I do these sorts of activities with. And we just slowly now start cooking these. So all I can smell at the moment is the super cumin, I guess. Got quite a good sense of smell, and it's starting to foam. I'm starting to smell it. And it's coming up. So we don't want it too hot. That sounds like it's still on, but it's not. So that tofu is really crispy. Crispy. There. Can you hear it? Probably not. But it's brown all the way around. And that's now ready to go in. Alright, so this now is coming up. I can start to smell it a bit more. Got some ginger puree. We're putting about a tablespoon in. So let's get him away. and we want to cook the ginger as well. So this is when it's starting to get a little hotter. So this is when I might put a bit of water in. And it's also fitting because it's water in the ginger puree is going into the oil. So obviously that's happening. So I've got this delightful mix now. I'm just going to turn that heat right off and just get chopping these onion petals up from this onion that I did prepare earlier. So yes, onion petals, you know, this big, and we want it that big because we don't want too much onion in our mouth, but we also do want a little bit of structure. So we're doing that. Separate them a little bit before they go in. I'm just watching that because it's this onion's going into that pan. That's all right. And then we want to cook the onion down. So let's just get that in there. So we've got our spices now and our onion. Salting the onion, and I'm just going to put a bit more oil in. So mix that thoroughly around. Get everything coated. Yep, something like that has just gone off, which is not ideal. And then we've got two cloves of garlic. I'm slicing it. Careful with my fingers actually. So yeah, so what I do actually, that's just a bit thick. Let me just take the edge off that. So yeah, so I'm holding the garlic clove, slice, and then when I get to this bit here. It goes everywhere, so I turn it round and put it flat down on the board and then slice that. I like sliced garlic actually, I just think it adds the garlic without being too strong. So that's ready to go in. Right, so what I'm looking at now is, are all the pieces of onion, you know, covered? Are they good? Is it starting to cook down? Yes it is. I just want to take that out. That was a bit big. Don't do it with your fingers. Certainly not. Don't do it with your fingers. I'm doing it with my fingers because A, I'm eating this, and B, I know how hot that is. So good. So we get this going now. I'm just looking at the time. So it's 4:15. That's not too bad. And the next thing we do is prepare this carrot. Okay, so I peeled it earlier. Let me just check, I'm getting everything in. Yeah. Okay, so I peeled it earlier. I'm going to chop it now. And I'm going to chop it into wedges, these sorts of wedges, and then so that's out of the way, and then I'm going to slice really thinly. Now add this near the end of the onion cooking. Slice it thinly because then it cooks on the outside quickly. It's not in the pan for long, you see. And you don't want it in the pan for long because it will go mushy. And as I've said so many times before, you know, we're vegan, we're not babies. We don't want mush. Honestly, I just thought I was going to eat mush my whole life through when I was vegan. But oh my god, it's going to be hummus and chili. This is a disaster. But, you know, that was the first week or two or a month, you know. But yeah, it's my mission to try and keep the vegetable integrity chewy without things being all just mushy. for that because that's cooking through quite nicely. So that's a medium heat. Now then, I'm just going to spice it. So I've got chilli flakes here and I've just put some two good pinches in chilli flakes. And we need a teaspoon of turmeric as well. So we're just going to put those in. But let me just check, I did remember that right, yeah, so that's good. So that's going in now. The turmeric will give a really nice colour. That's why I mean I can taste it and everything. It's quite, to me it's quite a strong flavour. But it's a nice colour. So that's it. So I'm looking now and I've got things translucent. These onions are going translucent and that's that. That is done now. So we're going to add a teaspoon, just checking, yeah, teaspoon of sugar, 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar and a tablespoon of lemon. And I'm pouring those liquids over the sugar because then it dilutes the sugar. Now that's my flavour adjustment that's gone on there. Now in a corn sauce, if you buy 330 millilitres or grams of corn sauce, you've already broken it, it's got 4 teaspoons of sugar in it. And that sauce will probably give you a meal for 4. This is a meal for 4 and it's got 1 teaspoon in, so a quarter of sugar. But there are sugar receptors on our tongue, so I always do hit them with a little bit of sugar. Good, now let's just think. So that's now cooked, that's in, that's done. So we're getting to the bit now where we can put the coconut milk in. Now I've made my own from coconut milk powder. There is a vegan one, but they're not necessarily vegan, so careful. But regular coconut milk will do. I like coconut milk powder because I can make it how I want it to be. So that's 170 grams of powder with topped up to make 400 grams of liquid in total, and it's lovely. So that's it. So now we're doing a little bit of bubbling, simmering, etc. While we that's the chilli back in my throat, John. So while we thicken. So, okay, so thickening, corn flour, or you could use coconut flour for this, corn flour. So when I was learning cookery, I used to get quite wound up about how much corn flour, you know, what does the recipe say? Is it a tablespoon? Is it a teaspoon? And honestly, I really do think the world would end if I put too much in. Now, you know, if you're beginning cookery, you want your sauces to stick, but you have different preferences perhaps than me about how thick you want things. So I would just advise you to just get into corn flour slurry. Get corn flour and put it in a tub so you can spin it like that. But no, get corn flour and put it in a tub. It's much easier than those silly boxes. So here we go. So I'm just going to do 2 tablespoons here, and just a little bit of water. The bare minimum basically is water. So it just mixes through, and that's my corn flour slurry. I might use it all, and I might not use it all. It depends. So I'm going to thicken now. All these coconut milks are different, you must be aware. So, you know, I give them guidance in the recipe, but you might not need as much, or you might need more. But what the thickening is actually sticking the sauce to the ingredients. You know, for me, Thai green curry is too thin. I like a sauce that sticks. Now, I've put most of that in, but I'll trust the water. I'm just going to get poured onto a bit of a lump of that because it's gone a bit too thick for me. So I'm remembering I need to put some extra salt in, probably. But I'm also remembering I put some salt in here, and I coated the tofu as well in salt. So that's all good. Right, I'm just checking. Okay, so let's check our way round. we're now starting to think about dressing things. That needs to go in. I've got a container here that's taking all the dirty stuff for me, keeping me neat. That's good. Now, we need to taste. Let's put him off. And we need to taste. Now, I think that looks thick enough for me. For me personally. Now, let's just taste this. Oh, that's just so nice. I really like that. That's just spot on. That's absolutely spot on. Right, good. So we can put the vegetables in. And we put the tofu in. And we might just pop on a slight simmer. It's all good. Okay, that's nice now. Again, I'm just going to loosen that. I'll probably simmer all that off actually, but just sometimes I find when I put ingredients into a sauce like this that it's just a bit thick, and I find looser things easier to warm through. So that's all. That's all good. Now, we're going to just wipe that up. We don't need any more of that now. So again, staying neat. We want to end up with a nice pile of washing up there, but otherwise this needs to be neat. That cornflour's going down the drain. So let's just prepare this lemon. So we just cut the top and the bottom off. And I've got a container, by the way, for prep that I've been using. Cut down. And then also I just kind of have a look, there's loads of seeds there, so I might just avoid that. I really don't like serving pips, whatever they are. I don't like them being anywhere near. I realise I keep turning my back and I know I need to do something about that. Right, so we have a bowl here and I just have got some rice. I must admit I forgot to get out of the microwave before I said, let's go live. I cooked this earlier and I'm certainly not going to be spending time cooking rice. So I'm wondering now, let me just see. I've got this computer, you see, and looking as myself. That might just work there, so you might be able to see this a bit better. Yeah, okay. So we need to put some rice in. So for this, I put the rice across the bottom of the bowl because I want this sauce to go down into the rice and cover the rice. And also it just has the effect of lifting the sauce up a little bit visually. Now then, experiment with your rice. In terms of rice portion, 50 to 75 grams of raw rice per person is standard, up to 90 perhaps, but no more than that for this white carb that we eat. So that's rice, and so if you cook 70 grams of rice raw, you need 140 grams of water, and then it becomes this perfect rice here. So that is a very, very common problem, isn't it, rice cooking? Right, okay, so let's just get this out. This looks absolutely lovely. I hope you can see it. Let me just see. It's coming up. It's coming up. I think I need to lift it up. Yeah. So you can see how lovely it looks. And it's done in 25 minutes, and I have been a bit sort of on the sluggish side. It's rich, it's got loads of oil in it. So when you're serving, just steady on. There's no point making a really lovely dish and then going, oh, I'm going to slop it. Awful. Steady on, like that. That's nice. Then you start looking for a bit of green. And then you might actually look for a couple of petals red. Turn the red out. Let's just see, let's get, there we go. Okay, things falling artfully down. Just want to get maybe a little bit of cauliflower to pop on the top. You know, when you're plating, you want it to be, you know, this shape, not that shape. That looks nice there. Okay, so a little bit of lemon and place it out so the lemon colour, the yellow colour is actually visible. And then we want to just put some coriander on, don't we? And yeah, so we cover this in the course, but if you're not on the cookery course, welcome to this. But we don't want to go too crazy with chopping herbs. You can take a very nice bunch of herbs and over chop it. Before you know it, you've got like a pesto. You don't want to do that. I would do 2 cuts. 2 cuts max on, you know, your standard supermarket herbage. I think in the recipe I'll probably put 10 grams. Yeah, I think this is a 10 gram bag, but you don't need 10 grams. After this, put that in just a Tupperware, get it out of this bag and put it in a Tupperware with a lid on it. You know, I've got tons of these, and that will hold nicely in the fridge. Don't wash it or anything. Save the stalks, they go into pesto quite well. Anyway, so what do we do now? So we take some of this and just pretend that you're a chef for a minute and just get a bit artsy about it. So I wouldn't put herb on the rice. I would consider putting it on the rice if I was wanting to integrate the whole dish, but I don't think it looks right. So just dress it nicely. I'm looking here, I'm not just grabbing, I'm looking for some leaves that will look nice on the top. There we are. So that's all good. Now, if you want, you could add a few chili flakes on the top of that as a dress. You know, people are different about what they want, and I would put a few of those red flecks over the white. And then what is very important is this aspect of it. So I'm just going to do some zest over the top. So I've got that, and it's actually just quite a juicy lemon actually for quite a cheap one that was going out of the supermarket cheap. So it's a cheap lemon, and it's gone out of the supermarket at 38p for a bag of 5 or whatever it was. So it's not expensive, but it's done its job. It's really juicy. So that's it. That's it. It's Health 100 curry, inspired by an event that I saw last week, where people were doing all sorts of things over a 24-hour period. Rowing. Somebody rowed on a rowing machine in a gym. I mean, sore bottom basically. So yes, after that I just made this dish and wanted to share it with you. So that's it. That's all we've got time for now. Let me see. I can't see any questions coming up. No, so that's okay. That's all right. I'm happy with that, and I'm happy with this dish. And I'm just going to try now and lift this up. Let me just see. Bring it up to the camera. There we go. Beautiful. Lovely, lovely food. Easily done, as I'm sure you will agree when you watch this back. So thank you very much for watching. No more comments coming in, so that's all good. And I hope you enjoy cooking it. Do let me know if you've got any questions.